Good evening, everybody. Great to see everybody. What a great evening we have tonight. We have 3 officers being sworn in, and we have 2 officers for combination of merit. But before we get going, this is official Bristol Township Council meeting, November 21st, 2024, starting time 7 o'clock. Please stand for a pledge of allegiance, moment of silence for all our personnel protecting our community. Thank you. Thank you. We need roll call.
President Bowen.
Here.
Vice President Murphy.
Present.
Mr. Antonello.
Here.
Mr. Blaylock.
Here.
Ms. Dunlap.
Here.
Mr. Glassen.
Here.
Mrs. Wagner.
Good evening.
Before we started the meeting, we met in executive session. Mr. Flagger.
Mr. President, Council, before the meeting, we met in executive session to discuss labor negotiations, police matters, and various personnel matters. Thank you.
Thank you. Monthly reports are available for review in the Township Manager's office. Public comments will be taken on land development and official action items. General comments will be taken during opportunity for residents to address council. Next, we have presentations and public hearing and ordinances. First one is accommodations of merit.
Good evening, members of council.
Good evening. Great to see you.
And great to see you. This is a good night for the police department. Tonight, we have an opportunity to recognize 2 of our officers for performance in their official duties. That really started from a motor vehicle stop that evolved into a violent confrontation with a resistive suspect who was armed with a firearm. At this time, I'd like to call up Patrol Commander Lieutenant Cosgrove, who will read the awards.
Good evening. Officer Nowicki, Officer Silverman. Officer John Nowicki is about to start his 4th year. He's among our most active officers, and I'm proud to have him amongst our crew. Officer Silverman is a genius who should have been an astronaut, and he decided to be a police officer. He's about to start his 3rd year, and big things are going to happen for him well beyond my years. Without further ado, on Monday, August 26th, 2024, at 2:16 p.m., Officer John Nowicki conducted a traffic stop in the parking area of a convenience store in the 3000 block of State Road in the Croydon section. The primary violation was for vehicle equipment standards. Officer Silverman responded as backup and arrived within minutes. During their investigation, Officer Nowicki observed controlled substances in the vehicle. While he was retrieving the contraband, the suspect attempted to walk away from the stop. He was ordered to remain by the officers. The driver ignored these directions and sought to pass an unknown object to a bystander. The officers interceded, and the driver attempted to flee on foot. The officers seized the driver, who began to resist with vigor. A struggle ensued, and the officers found the driver to be armed with a handgun. The altercation continued as the suspect attempted to take control of one of the officers' taser units. The lawful arrest was further complicated by some actions of this bystander. Despite the obvious dangers, the officers opted to control the subject with less than lethal force options. Eventually, the suspect was disarmed and taken into custody. The officers' actions and decisions protected both the suspect and this bystander from their own foolishness. The investigation revealed that the recovered firearm was a ghost gun. This phrase is associated with those manufactured without serial numbers for the illicit market. They have no legitimate purpose. It was determined that the suspect was ineligible to legally possess any handgun, serial number or no. Officers Nowicki and Silverman demonstrated perseverance and level-headed professionalism in the face of adversity and peril. For this exceptional act of police service, they are both hereby awarded the Commendation of Merit.
was gonna say. All right. 3, 2, 1. Wonderful, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for keeping Bristol Township safe.
Now, now we would like to introduce 3 of our newer police officers to the council. All these officers tonight were hired in April of this year. Tonight, Judge Terry Hughes will be officiating the swearing in. First, I would like to call up Officer Brooklyn Clausen, badge number 220. Come on up. And you bring up whoever you would like to, your mom?
Yes.
Dawn? Yeah. You- Officer Carlson grew up in Percy Borough. She graduated from St. John's University, where she obtained her bachelor's degree in criminal justice in 2021. Prior to being hired by Bristol Township, Officer Carlson was a correctional officer and case manager at the Bucks County Correctional Facility. Officer Carlson graduated from Temple University Police Academy on October 11th, 2024. And tonight she will be sworn in, and the Bible will be held by her mom, Dawn.
I state your name.
I, Brooklyn Clausen,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
and the laws of Bristol
and the laws of Bristol
Township.
Township,
That I will be guided in my duties
that I will be guided in my duties
of my office solely by the laws and regulations
and regulations
of the United States,
of the United States,
Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
and that I will discharge my duties of my office
that I will charge my duties of the office
with fidelity,
with fidelity,
honesty,
honesty,
and integrity.
and integrity.
That I will uphold, obey, and enforce
I will uphold, obey, and enforce
the law
the law
without consideration
without consideration
to a person's race,
to a person's race,
color,
color,
sex,
sex,
religious creed,
religious creed,
sexual orientation,
sexual orientation,
age,
age,
national origin,
national origin,
ancestry,
ancestry,
handicap,
handicap,
or disability.
or disability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Set. Okay. Next, I'd like to call up Officer Dylan Fedina, badge number 217, and his father, Dan, as well. Dylan grew up in Bristol Township and is a proud native. He graduated from Liberty University with a bachelor's degree in business in 2024. Officer Fedina graduated from the Temple University Police Academy on October 11th of 2024. And he'll be sworn in tonight by Judge Hughes, and his dad, Dan will be holding the Bible. Here you go.
I state your name.
I, Dylan Fidena,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
and the laws of Bristol Township.
and the laws of Bristol Township,
That I will be guided in my duties
that I will be guided in my duties
of my office
of my office
solely by the laws
solely by the laws
and regulations
and regulations
of the United States
of the United States
and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
Listen up. That I will discharge the duties
that I will discharge the duties
of my office
of my office
with fidelity,
with fidelity,
honesty,
honesty,
and integrity.
and integrity,
That I will uphold and obey
that I will uphold and obey
the laws
the laws
without consideration to a person's
without consideration to a person's
race,
race,
color,
color,
sex,
sex,
religious creed,
religious creed,
sexual orientation,
sexual orientation,
age,
age,
national origin,
national origin,
ancestry,
ancestry,
handicap,
handicap,
or disability.
or disability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Wasn't working either.
All right. I'd like to call up Officer Christopher Adams, badge number 216, and his daughters, who will be holding the Bible for him tonight. Come on up. Ah, you sit over there. Officer Adams grew up in Philadelphia. He graduated from the Philadelphia Police Academy in 2008 and served with the Philadelphia Police Department with distinction for 16 years before deciding to come here to Bristol Township Police Department. Tonight he will be sworn in by Judge Hughes, and the Bibles will be held by his daughters.
I state your name.
I, Christopher Adams,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
and the laws of Bristol Township.
and the laws of Bristol Township,
That I will be guided in my duties
that I will be guided in my duties
of my office
of my office
solely by the laws
solely by the laws
and regulations
and regulations
of the United States
of the United States
and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
and that I will discharge my duties
and I will discharge my duties
of my office
of my office
with fidelity,
with fidelity,
honesty,
honesty,
and integrity.
and integrity.
That I will uphold, obey, and enforce
I will uphold, obey, and enforce
the law
the law
without consideration
without consideration
to a person's race,
to a person's race,
color,
color,
sex,
sex,
religious creed,
religious creed,
sexual orientation,
sexual orientation,
age,
age,
national origin,
national origin,
ancestry,
ancestry,
handicap,
handicap,
or disability.
or disability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
I'd just like to thank everybody tonight for support that you continue to show us, and have a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Colton. Okay, while we're waiting for the clean out, to move out, everybody to move out, next on the agenda, we have to table to December 19th. It's an ordinance of Township Bristol amending the Code of Township Bristol by adding Chapter 60, automated red light enforcement systems. We need to move this to December 19th. We need a motion to
I'll
move
make that motion.
I'll second it.
What's it?
Yeah, let's open the hearing. Open the hearing.
I missed that
Let me
memo.
just say what, officially opening the hearing in an ordinance of the Township of Bristol, amending the code of the township by adding Chapter 60, automated red light enforcement system, consideration to take appropriate action. It is my understanding that it would be more appropriate if we continue this to a date certain, that date being December 19th at 7 p.m. That motion is in order.
Okay.
Make that motion.
Patrick Antonello,
I'll second it.
second by Marcia Dunlap on the motion. Is there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Flagger. Next, we have acceptance of Birdtown, Heidi Shiver.
Hi, good evening. Thank you so much for having me this evening, and congratulations on being a new Bird Town. I'm just going to take a few moments of your time. I know you have a lot on the agenda tonight, but just tell you a little bit about the program. I did not. So next slide, please. So our mission is to work in partnership with local municipalities like yourselves and like-minded organizations to promote community-based conservation actions to create a healthier, more sustainable environment for birds, wildlife, and people. Next. We've been engaged with the state and with municipalities for over 14 years. There's 72 programs now across 13 counties. We're under the umbrella of Pennsylvania Audubon Council and partnering with various conservation programs and groups, including We Conserve PA, Audubon chapters, and the Bird City Network. Next. These are all the listings of the bird towns, and you are highlighted there under Bucks County. There's about 14 here in Bucks County. Next. This is about the chapter on the Pennsylvania Audubon Council. Basically, there are 20 Audubon chapters in the state. The chapters and council is there to support the chapters and share ideas and resources. We're under their umbrella, they're our fiscal agent. Next. I just want to share about your special partner here in Bucks County Audubon Society at Honey Hollow. This is their mission, too, to educate and engage children and adults of the Bucks County region about the past, present, and future of our natural world, with an emphasis on conservation, stewardship, including protection, birds, wildlife, and habitats. Next. They have 7 miles of beautiful walking trails, a visitor center, and provide educational programming for everyone. Next. This is their beautiful site. This is a great partner for you to engage with bird walks, summer camps, and field trips. Next. So why are we focusing on birds? This is a lot on this, and I know you guys have had a chance to look at this, but birds are very important to our ecosystems. They help it move smoothly. They bring us joy and beauty. They help us know if our environment is healthy. They are everywhere. There's 90 million bird watchers in the U.S., spending $41 billion, but they really need our help. The breeding bird surveys are showing that populations are declining anywhere from 30 to 77% since 1970, and their numbers are still falling. The major threats to bird populations and why their populations are crashing pretty much is because of loss of habitat. Cats, 2.4 billion birds killed a year by cats, window collisions, pesticides, climate change, invasive species, and plastics. What we do is we address these issues through engagement, education, encouragement, support, inspiration, and promoting awareness. These are some examples of what your municipality can do as a bird town. Next. So we provide for your municipality a statewide structured program with congruous goals, concrete resources, and achievable actions. We work with other organizations to do these conservation actions. We provide training and workshops for our bird town leaders, and working together, there's more opportunity for funding. Next. This is our beautiful website that has lots of information and resources and gives a list of our conservation partners as well as our bird towns. Next. This is the many ways of us communicating with one another. We have 2 newsletters, the Bird Town Flyer, which is for our bird town leaders, the Bird Beat, which is a quarterly newsletter for residents to engage with them and give them seasonal tips of how they can support birds. And we also have a private Facebook page with actually over about 250 members now where they can share information. Next. It's really important, too, for us to meet in person. So these are our regional networking groups. We call them Bird Town Clutches, so you'll be within the Bucks one. We actually have one coming up in December, so hopefully you can be part of that. Next. This is how we are structured. We have 5 strategy areas. So this is just to make sure bird towns are working across the community. So municipal actions, school district and youth-related actions, community and individual engagement, organization collaborations and partnerships, and then finally advocacy. Next. It's a 4-tiered program, so you're going to be coming in at the green level, and then hopefully within the next year, moving up to the bronze, silver, and gold. And I'll be working with the committee to make sure that happens. Next. We really encourage your Birdtown committee to use this worksheet to guide their planning, and I'll be working with them on that as well. Next. This is the welcome packet that I'll be going over soon with the committee, sharing with them all the different things they have access to now. So next. So congratulations, Bristol Township. You're number 71, so.
Who's our Birdtown committee?
I just want to say Cody,
Oh,
our colleague can come up.
Oh, okay, great, thank
They're
you.
under the AC, they're under the AC. I've been working very closely with Cody. And so, if
Heidi,
y'all could stand.
we'll post this on our website and have more, a link to yours as well.
Okay,
the
good. I know
Birdtown.
this was very speedy, but they told me
Yes.
to be quick.
We appreciate that.
So this is Cody. Cody, want to say hi?
Thank you.
Good to see you all again.
Yep.
Like I said, I think I set the record last time for speed. I think we got through the presentation in a minute and a half.
And this is your colleague
And
too.
this is Ariel McDevitt. She's on our Birdtown committee as well.
Hi, nice to meet you.
So we can have a photo up real quick if you could.
All right, 3, 2, 1. I'll take a couple. Don't be blinking. I can't Photoshop eyes, so, all right, there you go.
Okay, moving right along, we have a presentation of, and first reading the proposed 2025 township budget.
Can you hear me? Am I speaking fast enough? Thank you. Yeah, I think I hold the record of the fastest presentations usually. So thank you very much, Bristol Township Council. Our staff has been amazing, and this has been a wonderful, wonderful year. This is the preliminary to be able to advertise for public inspection. This year we are raising the millage for the fire. It's volunteer. We have 5 volunteer fire companies. We had discussed raising it so the law just changed. It used to be a max of 3 mills, and now the law has changed to allow for a maximum of 10 mills just for fire millage only. And we had originally discussed potentially raising it by 2 mills. At the same time, we have to raise our trash fee this year, so I reduced it down to 1 mill as the proposal, even though the cost for the millage and the trash fee increase is $70, is an increase of $70. So that's the recommendation would be for the increase to the 1 mil fire tax. Everything else stays the same as they have for over 10 years.
So to clear, $50 for trash for the year,
We're getting that to the top, yes.
right? And 1 mil for the fire companies.
Correct.
Okay. Proposed.
Correct, that's this slide. That's exactly what this slide has presented. Usually we give a long list of the last 10 years because the township has not raised taxes and actually reduced it twice since 2012, since you guys have been on council. But this year, just within the last 5 years, nothing has been raised other than 2 years ago, we raised the trash fee. So this year, it'd be 1 mil increase for the fire, making it from $23.98 to $24.98 for the millage. For people that are not aware what millage is, it's an assessment. It's off of your it's 0.1 off of your assessed value of your home. So did a calculation here to show that the average home in Bristol Township, the average assessed home dollar value is $20,000. Off of that would be the 1 mil increase is 400. Well, this is a complete. Would be for all the taxes, the 24.98 millage. So this is not just the increase of the 1 mil. This is the increase of the 1 mil included in all the millage that you're assessed on, and that increase is $499.60. Broken out, it's $41 a month and a little bit over $1.30 a day. The trash increase for the refuse fee, that is, we had the increase to the contract last year. It's a 4-year contract. Last year we had to use reserves to balance out that trash fee. So the trash fund. So now we're recommending an increase of $50. Still very low cost in comparative to Bristol Borough pays $800 a year, and a month, as well as I believe Middletown is going up as well. So the average assessed home of $20,000 will see an increase of $70 for the year. That's the increase with the millage increase. So, again, based off of an assessed value home of $20,000, that would be $70, which is 77, almost $77.50 a month, and then $2.58 a day. And again, I want to reiterate, so that is for all the taxes. That's including the 1 mil increase to the fire tax for the volunteer fire companies. So this is for all your services, for your, our general fund with all the services. This includes police, public works, Parks and Recs is included in there in a separate fund for our volunteer fire companies, for our rescue squads, for our debt fund, for all of our what was on the last slide. All of this, and I'm just trying to go through everything that you get from the general fund. For all of that, it costs $77 a month. So I think Township has been really well.
Let me back up. Without the 1 mil increase, how much is the average taxpayer paying per month for taxes?
Thank you.
Without it,
Right.
it's technically for the average assessed home, it's a $20 increase
Okay.
Per month.
per month.
Per month.
So it's a.
No, it's a $20 increase total. Right. Yeah, total, I'm sorry.
Well, wait a minute.
The total
Wait a minute.
increase is $70 a year, roughly.
Right, so it's a one,
That
so
mill.
the 1 mil
No,
increase.
I just want to know what the mill
Yeah, the one-
equates to for the average.
The 1 mil increase based off of a 20,000 assessed value
Assessment.
of a home is $20 for the year. That's the increase to the resident.
Because somewhere you were saying monthly, $70 a month.
And at one point you said $4.99.
Well, the $70 a month, yeah,
It's total
right.
for an average assessed house.
No,
No,
that's the total of all, the $70 a month is the total of all the millage with the increase, the refuse fee, and the streetlight assessment.
For the average home.
For the average assessed
So
value home
70 times 12,
is
700 and,
it's 929.85
For the average house.
for the average assessed value house of $20,000.
So let me back, for that year, how much more is it going to go up with everything?
Are you, for just the millage,
yes.
Yes,
$20.
got it. And
So
that
it's
pays-
only, and that $20 a year from every homeowner is
Average.
earmarked specifically, so everybody understands, for the fire companies.
Yes, so this is the point that we are very fortunate to have 5 very well-respected fire companies volunteer in Bristol Township. We are supplemented by career daytime, and that funding comes out of the general fund. So this millage is only for the volunteer fire companies. And what we've been seeing is more townships going either full career or adding additional career, and their millage for the fire has been increasing exponentially. So if we and we're a big municipality, so we with 5 volunteer fire companies, if that all had to come career and be paid volunteer fire companies or paid career fire companies, we're talking like a
We're in
10
big
mil
trouble.
increase.
Yeah, we want to support our volunteer fire companies to the best of our ability. So now I understand where you got that $70 per year increase, 50 for the trash,
Correct.
20 for the 1 mil
Correct.
on the average home.
On
Your
the average
home's
assessed
assessed
home
a
of
little higher,
20,000.
it'll be a little higher. Your home's assessed a little lower, it'll be a little lower than 20 bucks.
Correct.
Correct.
But everybody's going to have to pay the 50 because of the cost of.
And I just want to point out, I went to
Correct.
a meeting in Northampton Township. They have a full-fledged fire company.
Yeah.
Full-fledged, 2 beautiful buildings.
Gorgeous.
And they raised it just to bring it was 3 mils. They're going to raise it another 3 mils next year, and propose another 3 mils after that. And I said, how do you do it? How do you do it up there with how you just keep raising taxes because people don't complain? So, but they did this time when I was there. They were starting to complain. So we're going to do everything we can to support our volunteer fire company. Right, Joe?
Right.
we
Correct, and
appreciate
we, and again, we will look at, so this mill is basically for the last 3 years, we have been supplementing the volunteer fire companies with that mill increase with our state and local fiscal recovery act funding, that we earmarked out of that 15.8 million to the fire companies for 3 year. So it ended this year. So they're going to, at least for the volunteer fire companies, it'll be seamless that they are getting what they're used to for the last 3 years. And then we'll reassess and work with the fire companies to see if potentially that if it would have to be increased again. Again, it's $20 a year for 1 mil increase. And, I've talked to most of council too and talked about, we need to also look at a rescue squad millage. So, that could potentially be happening in the future as well.
Thank you. Anything? You want to keep going on the budget or?
Yeah, I'm not finished.
Okay.
I mean, I can be if you guys, want to advertise. This is just a difference of what was adopted in '24 and what is proposed of this year. This is all of the funds again. You see the fire company fund. That's for our volunteer fire companies. We have our rescue squad. We have a separate park and rec fund. The PADCED is our grant fund. We pay half of the crossing guards' salaries for the Educational Service Agency, working with the school district. They pay the other half. We have our capital projects, our debt service, our rescue. Highway 8 is our liquid fuels that we get state allocation from. Community development is funding that we are allocated as well from the Housing and Urban Development. Blight is something that I started with here, and that is going very well. We're just increasing it right now, but we're working it out with the RDA to be able to, we have a large escrow, because again, that is a funding that we've paid for the 11 houses that we started with in 2016 and have not provided any other additional funding because it's been self-funded. So we're working with them to see if we can, the funding that we're taking out of here with the boarding up of the houses and stuff like that, we're looking to see if we can just take it out of that already established escrow that we have. And then we have the sewer fund. So this is looks like it's going up 5%. We have the allocations that I thought were very important to see where all the money is going. And the majority of it, which I'm happy to say, is the reason that there's an increase from 68 million to 71 million is all of the grant funding that we've received, which it will be the next slide. We've been very fortunate. It's a 2-pager. We've been very fortunate. So this is all funding from grant. If you want to go to the next one, it's $12 million of funding that we'll be using next year for capital projects and equipment. So with that, I conclude. I thank you again, and just need a motion to authorize advertisement for public view.
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion by Cindy Murphy, second by Marcia Dunlap. On the motion, or is there any questions on the budget? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you.
Thank
You for that. Great presentation. Next, we have the consent agenda. We have a consider approval of voucher list and requisition dated November 21st, 2024, in an amount of $4,022,850.69. Consider approval of October 18, 2024 council minute meetings. And the last is consider resolution for an official sewage facilities planning module 4, 612 Coventry Lane, Croydon. We need a motion on that agenda. Motion by Mary Ann Wagner. Second by Joe Glasson on the motion. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Thank you. Next, we have a report from Township Manager.
Thank you. I just wanted to remind everybody that we started putting our events on the agendas, so everybody's aware. So this Saturday is our holiday parade that starts at 12 o'clock. It goes from Brookwood Elementary. We're switching it this year, Brookwood Elementary to Mill Creek Elementary. And then on Saturday, December 7th, at 6 p.m., we'll have our tree lighting. And then we have a Marines Toys for Tot out in the lobby here. So if anybody would like to drop off toys, we would appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. Report from Township Solicitor.
I want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving.
Can't hear you, Randy.
I want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving and how grateful I am to represent Bristol Township and to work with Randy and Heather and the crew. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Flagger.
Great report.
Now we move to new business. We have an application. We have an application of Third Construction Incorporated, 1909 Veterans Highway, Levittown, requesting preliminary and final subdivision land development approval to subdivide the existing parcel into 10 single-family residential lots with associated stormwater management facilities and a cul-de-sac located at 0 Avenue E, tax parcel number 5-20-001-005 in an M1 light manufacturing zone district. I say that fast enough?
Not quite.
Mr. Young's good to see you.
Good evening. I'm Larry Young from Tri-State Engineers. I'm here with Troy Brennan from the owner of the property, Third Construction, Inc. The property is known as tax map parcel 520-001-005. Consists of 3.16 acres. Is located sandwiched between 95, the dead end of Avenue E, and Nebraska comes down to one property shy of this site. The property is wooded, contains a 100-year floodplain. Can you switch to the next slide? So the property's wooded. This is M1 zone. The property is zoned M1. This is R1, and this is PI zone on the other side, and there's Interstate 95. We were back in August. We went to the zoning hearing board. Since this site was zoned M1, we could have put a warehousing building or something of that nature. It really didn't fit into the neighborhood given the width of the roads that go into this neighborhood off of New Falls Road. So Troy, we sat down with Troy, and we're going to extend this road. Can you go to the next slide? That's the existing features. There's a unnamed tributary to Neshaminy Creek that runs through this property. Nebraska is up here with the cul-de-sac, and this is the dead end for Avenue E, and the chemical plant is over here, and I-95's there. Next slide. we went to the zoning board in August of 2024. We decided to put single-family dwellings on the property. We got variances from the zoning board synonymous with the R3 zone, 5,000 square foot lots, 50 foot wide, things like that. We got buffers from interstate highways and from industrial zone properties on either side. And we got the dimensional variances that go kind of with the R3 zoning district. We're in M1, so those variances were necessary. Where the proposed improvements, we're extending this road 400 feet to a cul-de-sac, which will be a way to turn around and go back out. There's 10 building lots. There's one basin. It's a managed control rate basin, whereas the site does not have the greatest soils on it. A lot of it was fill, so DEP has a concept that you propose on sites that can't totally infiltrate. And what it is they put an amended soil bottom in the system, which has some infiltration values, but the outlet is very choked off. It goes down to like a 1.5 inch hole where all that flow will be held in the basin and released slowly. Like I said, the road is 26 feet wide. We're asking for a waiver for sidewalk. The cul-de-sac is 55 feet wide, has a 55-foot radius, 10 building lots, and there is the floodplain back here. That's the floodplain to this unnamed tributary, and the site will be serviced by public water and public sewer. And that's it in a nutshell describing the site. The lots, we made the lots go all the way to the back for larger lots. Basically what it is 2/3 of the site, call it 3 acres, 2 acres of it is developed through here, and about 1 acre of the site is undeveloped. And it has natural resource protection. Nobody can do anything in the floodplain. That's where our limited disturbance is, the floodplain up here. So it's about a 2/3, 1/3 type of scenario where, you know, the site will remain in its current condition for 1 acre of the property.
So I have a question on that stormwater management. When it does drain, does it go into the, I called it the Queen Anne Creek, but I've been wrong on that.
It's the Queen Anne Interceptor, the sewer line.
Right, the sewer's back there. So that small little stream, that's where it'll eventually.
This is where it's gonna outlet.
Okay.
And it's gonna flow, just like it did in the previous, slide. You saw a finger reaching up here.
Right.
It's gonna empty into that finger, which feeds this stream right here.
Okay.
And like I said, the opening is gonna be very, very small, so.
And I know just from, there's 2 sewer, you got the big one along the creek that I never knew what it was for when I was a kid riding back there. Are you tapping into that one, or?
Well, there's been some talk. If we tap into the sewer.
That's the big one.
Queen Anne Interceptor, which is a 36-inch line.
Right.
TOFA owns that. Township of Falls owns that.
Okay.
We've been talking to Kurt's office, Stephen Walsh specifically. There's a manhole down here that's about 100 feet down the road, and with some design concessions, we may be able to make that work going to Bristol at that point. And Aqua's the water company. Aqua's line stops right here. So.
Is there a reason it's not rezoned to residential?
Well, like I said,
curious.
it's contiguous with Nebraska Street, which there's a lot right here that's still M1, and this was M1. You know, I guess if you cross the stream, you could get to this property from Nebraska, but, you know, that's a big undertaking at that point.
Yeah, no, I was just curious
Yeah.
as to, like, because it's going to be residential, why
Yeah.
isn't it zoned
Yeah.
residential?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you can build houses in M1.
Well, we got the use variance to do it.
Conditional
Oh,
use.
okay, thank you.
Yeah.
You
What-
can't,
you did.
What did
you
you
can't
say?
normally, but they got a variance.
Yeah.
Right. T1? Nebraska, did you say T1 on Nebraska?
Nebraska is M1.
M1?
Yeah.
I thought you said T. Okay.
Light manufacturing.
Yeah, got it.
Kurt, I want to hear more about the research into this retention pond, and I'm still not really sold that this is going to be a functional part of this development, because you're right up against the floodplain there. You've admittedly said that the ground has less than desirable properties. So, you know, I need a little more encouragement, because when I look at this whole particular, we're squeezing something in where I don't think something should be, personally.
Right?
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Well, the MRC basins, as Larry had said, that's something that has been created in the guidelines of DEP in the last, I don't know, five years maybe.
So it's new.
It's newish, like 5 years.
So we don't have history on its functionality, as much as I would like, really?
Well, yeah, you see the large footprint of that basin.
it's
You know, it takes
large.
up a lot of space.
Yeah, it does.
If you have great infiltration rates, then those basins tend to get smaller. So it takes up a large footprint. It gets amended soils brought in, as Larry said. And then from functionality standpoint, you know, these, not unlike any other project, there's that operation and maintenance agreement that they're to be maintained and operated and, you know, inspected annually.
Yeah, and that would be a homeowners group from the people that bought the properties.
That's correct. There would have to be a homeowners association, so that large parcel on the top and that wraps around to the side would be managed by the 10 new homeowners.
Don't forget, without this new concept, a typical basin would have a larger opening.
I
to let
understand.
More water out.
Right.
So that's why these basins get bigger and bigger now.
Yeah.
To hold that water.
And, you know, given the fact that climate change is real and we're right up against a floodplain, I have a certain level of nervousness about a development like this
Yeah, so
in that situation.
It doesn't go into the floodplain, and actually the discharge is outside of the floodplain, so.
Well, the development is right up against it, is what I said.
Right, but I'm saying that, like, when you discharge storm pipes, sometimes if you're discharging, which you're allowed to do, into a floodplain, you have to worry about tailwater effects,
Right.
but this is actually all above and outside of the 100-year.
Okay,
And you can have.
that's where the discharge is gonna be.
And you.
Yes.
You could have soils that aren't the greatest and not be near a stream, and you have to use an MRC. type of basin.
I understand that completely. I understand. Okay.
Is the road gonna be a township road, or will that HOA do the plowing there?
It's gonna be offered for dedication. It really only has curbing in it, and we're gonna put the lighting, fixtures that, as close as we can get them, they're kinda acorn lights down on the rest of Avenue E, and we're gonna put them, on this section of road too.
Who,
In Newport Bills, them, I don't know what you call them, they're not the river street lights.
Right, they're ornamental lights.
You're gonna try and
Yeah.
match that?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
I saw it, it's on the blueprint.
yeah.
Do we check to see, I can't tell what the linear feet is. Do we check to see if this cul-de-sac meets PennDOT standards for liquid fuels?
So because it's a continuation of the existing road.
Okay.
It likely
It does,
will.
yeah.
I don't think we actually confirmed it, but we think it would.
Right.
Or over.
And just as far as the dedication goes, the township has had a few of these road extension projects in the past. We've also had others that are like new roads, like over at Prospect was a new cul-de-sac. And for the most part, if it's an extension like this, the township has accepted dedication for the fact that it's an extension of an existing road. And furthermore, having the cul-de-sac provides benefit to not just like snow plowing, but you can actually go in and plow and turn around, whereas you're not backing out of a dead end, and like trash trucks and other things can turn around. So there's some benefit for those reasons.
Well, it would be benefit for some of the neighbors because they do have chains across their driveway, so, because people come down and turn around if you've been down that way.
Mr. President,
Yes.
we sent you a four-page agreement. Are you in agreement with that?
Yes, we are in agreement. We have 3 letters from your consultants, the fire marshal, Gilmore, and Pannoni. They're all will complies.
And you're prepared to sign it this evening?
Yeah, Troy will sign it. And, you know, we're asking for a few waivers. I can go through the waivers, or they're just in the.
It's in the agreement. It's in the agreement.
Resolution.
It's in the resolution that we present. Council action is, we have nothing further from legal and engineering. Council action is in order.
Motion by Marion Wagner.
I'll second it, Craig.
Second by Joe Glassman on the motion. Call to board. Call to board.
She's like, what?
Just like roll call. Huh? I'm not here right now.
Sorry.
She's like, when's the last time we did
Yeah.
that?
It's not a usual thing.
Yes, that's Craig Bowen.
Vice President Murphy.
Yes.
Mr. Antonello. No. Mr. Blaylock.
Yes.
Ms. Dunlap.
Yes.
Mr. Glassen.
Yes.
Mrs. Wagner.
Yes.
Thank you. Good luck. Good luck, Mr.
All right,
Brennan.
have fun.
And don't forget to sign them stormwater agreements. And that's way better than having a trucking terminal back there. Phew. Or one of them repair facilities like that's over there and some of the other places. Okay, we're ready. We're going to move forward. We have a tenant agreement for a new collective bargaining agreement between the Township of Bristol and the Bristol Township Police Benevolent Association, PBA, consideration to ratify. How'd you like that?
thank you.
Or salad?
Thank you. Just want to go over the highlights of the contract negotiation. It's technically a 4.5% raise, but the raise will be a 4% with a 5% for a shift differential. It's the other portion is to move to 12-hour shifts. That would be an MOU as well, but that would the MOU that has been in front of the PBA that they ratified would be with the 12-hour shifts. No time off is allowed. That would create overtime. We're paying out for the holidays versus allowing them to take their holidays, and no part-time employment, subject obviously to the chief's review. The increase will be beneficial to our officers. We're keeping in line of moving up our maximum year rate so that we mimic or match closer to other municipalities and other police departments. So right now we have a longevity schedule of 25 years, but the majority of it is we have a maximum rate for the salaries for the officers at 5 years. So it's going to be increased to, it's going to reduce down to 4 years. The longevity increase will be a dollar amount, and that'll get added to the salary. There's a reduction in maximum accumulation of sick hours for new hires and a payout reduction. Right now, we don't have irrevocable decision on drop. So now within a year of their retirement decisions, they have to state that within a year, or they can no longer be entered into drop. They lose their decision-making for drop. Officers hired starting in the new contract year will no longer receive the severance pay of 480 hours to be added to the pension. And we did add any officer who qualifies and accepts the position is able to start in at year 3 salary if they've worked at an accredited police department. So I would just like to say that it was very pleasant conversations and meetings with the contract committee, the PBA president, who would like to remain nameless, who is sitting under the exit sign or the on-air sign. And I didn't say his name. It was really nice to work with this contract committee. Very reasonable, understanding, fighting for the PBA, but also recognizing, where they work, who they work for, and it was a pleasant experience. And if this gets passed tonight, gets motion to approve, then this would be the second contract within the last 5 years that have gone through without having to go to arbitration. That is all. Thank you.
Thank you. So motion is in order.
I'll make that motion.
Whoa, geez. Hold on. Hold on. Wait.
We'll give it to Ray. We'll give it to Ray.
Hi, Ray.
Hi,
It's good to see you. Thanks for, coming. So you want to make a motion?
I'll make the motion.
We have a motion by Ray Blaylock. Now, who else?
I'll second it. We can all say it.
Yeah, so we have second. Yeah, Mary Ann Weiner, Marcia Dunlap. On that motion, all in favor? Aye. Anyone would be opposed? No. Thank you. Okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Next, we have a memorandum of understanding between Transport Workers Union of America, Local 282, AFL-CIO, and Bristol Township modify existing collective bargaining agreement to reflect a transition from bi-monthly payroll to bi-weekly payroll schedule. You need a motion on
I think
that.
it's self-explanatory, right? I'll make that motion.
Next one.
Yeah, motion by Cindy Murphy.
Second.
Second by Patrick Antonello. On the motions or any questions? All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Thank you. Memorandum of Understanding between Administrative Police Service Employees International Union Local 32, BJ, and Bristol Township modify existing collective bargaining agreement to reflect a transition from bi-monthly payroll to a bi-weekly payroll schedule.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Cindy Murphy.
Second.
Second by Patrick Antonello. On the motion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you. Next, we have a bids for Randall Avenue Bridge Phase 2. We need a motion on that.
Well, did you want to
Yeah, you want
get a
to
little
dig into a
summary?
little bit? Yes.
Yes. So just very quickly, we have it posted on our community notices page, all the updates. Phase 2 has been completed by the end of October, was completed at the end of October, and phase 1. Phase 2 is on the agenda tonight for recommendation. Gilmore Associates has worked with Loftus Construction before. They have been good. I'm sorry, I am out of sorts. I'm President Bowen tonight, I feel like. I'm little out of sorts.
At least it's not me tonight.
Yes,
all right? That's all that
I'm
matters.
taking it for the team. Yeah, and I'm not the only insult because I heard what Mary Ann said. So I'm trying to find my, thank you. So the motion in order of Loftus Construction for Phase 2 of the bridge. Now, recall this is for the abutments and the additional portions of the area. I believe it was fixing the
Bearings
and
the joints
and the joints and the things that have been on PennDOT's reports for some time now. The motion is, or the bid is for $2,750,000.
Could
I will stop talking.
Could I hear, Kurt, just a rundown of exactly what the scope of work is?
Yeah,
the
so
high points.
Yeah, so all the, like the superstructure going across the bridge, the beams and girders, that's all been shielded, as you know. And the abutments are concrete abutments that have eroded over the years, so there's a lot of like missing eroded sections, so that's gonna receive a fiber wrap to restore that. And the bearings that hold up the beams are very corroded, so they're gonna put up temporary shoring to
You can
to
put
be able
new
to.
rockers and bearings in.
Yep, and then on the top side, above the abutments, the joints of the bridge are going to get replaced, and then some ancillary, like, the barriers and things that are
Right.
impacted by it, that's part of this scope too. So, the goal is to address all the PennDOT issues this is what we had originally sought to try to do before the falling concrete issue took priority. So the goal remains to get this Phase 2 portion of the work done. We don't think there will be as much Amtrak coordination because it's going to be done from the top side, on the outsides of the tracks. So assuming things go well, we're hoping in sometime 2025 to be able to then repetition the PUC and PennDOT, whose inspectors have been out there throughout, and hopefully reopen the bridge.
At some to-be-determined weight limit.
That's right. I think, I think I could probably say that our engineers are very optimistic about the ability to certainly reopen it at the existing 3.5-ton weight restriction, but we are going to seek to try to see if that can be increased. It won't be
For emergency vehicles mainly.
Yeah, it may not be even for even ambulances weigh a lot, but
Yeah,
it'll
I
be
know.
like trucks, but not triaxles and.
Right, we don't want any
It
trucks ever going over that bridge again, triaxles or anything like that, ever.
No, that's going to be in our bridge redesign. Well, obviously, when we're still going out for funding for a brand-new bridge.
Right.
And that obviously will be, designed for that. But I don't believe that this will be for the weight limit for emergency vehicles.
No.
But the potential to increase just the vehicular weight limit is there. We have to see where everything shakes out. But we've already discussed it with the police department, knowing that we will have our police personnel make sure that they are watching this bridge. We've heard from the past and the neighbors that they are frustrated that all these years that the bridge has been deteriorating because we haven't been watching it. So we won't allow that to happen again.
That's only part of the reason the
I
bridge
think I
went
know
bad.
who the officer would be for that.
Sergeant, yeah,
Officer Macuso.
well, to oversee it anyhow.
Sergeant.
I still have one more question, Kurt. This wrap that you're talking about, can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so it's it's a resin material.
Okay,
It's-
so they're not gonna fix the rebar and concrete, they're just gonna go in and, wrap it with this stuff?
Oh, no, there's lots of concrete and rebar also.
All right.
But this is a very strong, very durable resin, and it'll be in great shape, trust me. Roman's designing it, and he doesn't under-design things.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out if this is an extra on top of the concrete to preserve it, or it's just, it's part of the fix. In some areas, they'll use this, and others they can't. Is that what you're?
So any spalled concrete gets removed, and
And
there's
then it gets filled with this?
there's number 8 rebar spec'd,
Yeah,
maybe
1 inch.
10.
1 inch.
Yeah, and
Are you overseeing what
Yeah.
they're going to do? Right?
Yeah, sure.
Structurally. So.
Oh, yeah.
Like the flagpole.
yeah, pretty much.
That
took a few truckloads of concrete too. Still
Put the
standing
Empire
though.
State Building on that, and you did design that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Where's the funding for this? We already have set aside from grants, or is there additional funds?
Yes, our grant was $2 million. We did have a $975,000 grant from the first multimodal Now, this is 2 million. We spent a little bit over $1 million with Haynes and Kibble House for phase 1. So if we're going to have to supplement from the general fund or from the capital fund, like $300,000. Yes.
Thank you.
All right, I'll make that motion.
Motion by Patrick Antonello,
I'll second.
second by Cindy Murphy. On the motion, is there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you. Well, next is resolution authorizing sale of surplus equipment. Sure, need a motion.
I'll make that.
Or
Motion.
second it, or whatever you need.
All right, motion by Joe Glasson, second by Patrick Antonello on the surplus question. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you. And then the last is automated rent. We're going to table that. All right, I'll read it. Randy Flagger, is it okay if I read that one? Okay, just making sure. Automated red light camera master service agreement with Cinso Gatsko. We need to move that table that till December 19th?
Yes,
Okay, we need a motion to move that?
we did that.
No, this,
It's the ordinance that you needed and this is about the agenda.
so, what do you want?
We'll still, yeah, we'll table it, and then this is the master's agreement that wouldn't be approved unless the ordinance is approved.
So,
Just put it on the agenda.
okay, we're going to put it on next month's agenda. How's that? Is that okay? Okay. We don't need no motion on that? All right. What's that? We're going to table it. All right.
Mr. Brennan, could you control?
Okay, next this is so much fun here. Other business. Is there any other business except for the parade, right? Nope, okay. Comments from council members?
I'd just like to extend my warmest Thanksgiving wishes for all our citizens, that you have a time filled with family and food. Thanks.
Thank you. Anybody else? No? Remember, there's a parade Saturday. Again, please come out, hang out, bring the kids, get some free candy. Yep. Opportunity for residents to address council, and we have Wes Wrestler. Come on up, Wes. Good to see you. Glad you can make it. Swing on up here.
I have a million things, but we'll take first things first. Are the police supposed to be out there and enforce the township ordinances? Or are they supposed to just say, we don't do that?
Huh?
No, nobody listened. Well, I'll tell you why I asked this question.
Tell us why. I'm curious.
Neighbor next door is burn ban from October 25th for 30 days. So I wonder if that burn ban includes all Bucks County residents, or is it all Bucks County residents except for Dominic Morano at 514 Western Avenue?
What's his middle name?
I don't know his middle name.
All right, I just wanted to see if I had the right one.
I know you wanted to play a game with me here.
So to be clear, the guy
No
was,
distraction.
Wes, just to be clear, the guy was burning when it was a no burn policy in place?
That's right.
Did you call?
Called the police, yes.
Okay.
Police came out there about 45 minutes later, of which in 45 minutes you could burn everything you wanted and be done.
So what happened then after the police?
So after the police went by, he started to burn again. So I called again. And they came back and told me that they went by and they didn't see anything. So my question is, are the police out there to enforce the ordinances of the township?
Yes.
That was a
Because-
county ban for open burning. Now, we have our own ordinances about open burning also. But
Well, Heather supplied me with letters, which I thanked her already for that, of what she found out from the county. Now,
Specifically related to your questions about drought.
yeah, but you included the open burning thing.
Correct, because you contacted me related to use of watering a lawn during a drought,
Yeah.
which there is no ordinance against that.
Well, you hadn't put it in place yet because you didn't get to that point. So what my want is, police supposed to enforce the township ordinances? And I got the answer, yes. However, in their oath tonight, I noticed the oath has changed, and they decided to admit enforcing the ordinances of the township. So I don't know what the deal is there.
They were in there. You must have misheard, because it always says enforce the local ordinances.
You heard something that wasn't said. I listened to it very well. And I asked for a copy of that months ago through, when you put in a right to know. I put it into the judges, and I didn't get a copy of that oath that they take. But I noticed tonight now they changed it. So I don't know what the deal was for. He said the laws. He didn't say the ordinances. There's a difference. You guys will get technical with me and say, oh, there's a difference. So, you know.
So you think we're omitting that so we can let your neighbor burn when we burn it?
You're omitting that so you can disregard that as an ordinance. Now let's go on to another thing. When you display the American flag, anybody know anything about displaying the American flag? One of the first things it says is you can't have it up in inclement weather. That's one of the first things. Another thing it says, you can't have them up there unless they have a light shining on them. They can't be there in darkness. That's why the schools take them down. So I'm seeing the same thing with that. There's a book probably 1/4 inch thick on display of the flags. Yeah, you're done.
Wes, it's always a pleasure to see you. Thank you for coming out, and we look forward to seeing you next month. Please have a happy Thanksgiving.
Okay, thank you, sir.
We need a motion to adjourn. All in favor? Aye. Thank you. And again, correct.